Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second live podcast of the Sports Association. Joining me today, we have a very special guest. We have athletic director, football head coach, Coach Esteban Rodriguez. He agreed to join us on this episode, and we're going to bombard him with some questions and see what they're doing to prepare for their playoff game this week on Thursday. So let's welcome Coach Esteban Rodriguez. How's it going, Coach?
You, man. It's going well, man. Thank you for the invitation for this live podcast. I know last week when you reached out, we were kind of dealing with that tough loss at Dilly, and we were kind of, on the bubble of whether we were in or out of the playoffs. And I just asked that, let us secure that playoff win first, and then I'm game to get on the podcast, man. So again, I apologize about that, but I appreciate the invite.
No worries, and we understand. We got to handle business first, and then we'll have fun later. But
Yes,
man, how's your first day of practice go, and how's the preparation going on for y'all?
Oh, it was great, man. Today was definitely a great day of practice. The weather's beautiful. I guess it seems as the weather's getting better as the season goes on, of course. But again, kids were excited, coaches were excited, and like I said, it was a great practice, clean, crisp. Definitely got better at our craft today, and looking forward to the by-district playoff game on Thursday. I know it's a little bit out of the ordinary for a Thursday. We were trying to find something on Friday, but with fields and all the games going on, it was kind of difficult. So again, take what you can get, man, and make the best of it.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. So what's the atmosphere like among the players, ahead of this playoff game?
It's a lot of excitement, and I'll tell you what, and I tend to sound like a broken record, and I'll keep reverting back. Last week was difficult, kind of overcoming that tough loss at Dilly. The environment, the atmosphere. Kids were down, and as difficult as it was, especially on that Saturday, the next day, it's my job, to keep these kids going and keep the engine running, man. And like I said, it was a bit difficult last week. We needed this win on Friday. It kind of woke everybody up, brought us back to life, and kind of got us back to Cowboy football, man. We had a great showing, kind of got better, on both sides, offensively, defensively. Kids played very well. But like I said, the atmosphere is fun. It's exciting right now. Kids are excited. It's been a few years since we've been in the playoffs, so we're definitely, embracing the opportunity and trying to make the most of it.
No, sure, man. I mean, this last game against Carson City to close out the season was definitely a good one. And to do it in front of your home crowd, to make that playoff push, I mean, it's definitely a good feeling for the boys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. And that's one thing that I've said, since I've been part of this, here in Cotulla, we've got some of the best fans in South Texas, man. Whether we're 10-0, 0-10, we travel and well, we always have strength in numbers. The home atmosphere has been great. And I'm glad that we had a successful season to bring some energy, bring some motivation back to the community, and bring some excitement. So again, I just appreciate everybody that's came out and support these kids. Like I said, they've been working their tails off. People don't realize the amount of work and effort that goes into the grind, man. It's not something you show up August 1st and think that you're going to compete with the best of them. Football, as well as I do, it's 365 days a year. So again, it's always fun when we can kind of give back to the community and bring some excitement, man, especially to the youth, to you guys and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely appreciate, the community of Cotulla and everything they've done for our kids in the program.
Yeah. So man, that actually leads me up to the next question. How important is the support, from the school and the community, during this playoff game?
Oh man, it's been outstanding, man. It's second to none. Starting from the top, from superintendent, administration, to principals, to parent support, coaches, families. Family is the biggest thing. I get a lot of support from my family. But like I said, man, Cotulla ISD is a great district to work for. The support, is outstanding, as I mentioned, and that's what kind of makes it better, man. When you put a good product on the field, you got everybody behind you, and you're kind of, giving them what they deserve. Giving them what they deserve is the biggest thing.
Yeah, no, for sure, and then just a big promotion right here. If we can get as many Cotulla fans to pack those stands over in San Diego, Thursday, man, it'd be a great feeling for the boys, and and it changes, the I guess the level that you compete. You always want to go and show out in front of those that home, your home fans, and especially if they're traveling. It's what, an hour and a half to San Diego.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that
And
travel like that make you good.
that was a big reason, and I'll be quite honest, I was kind of opposed to playing on Thursday for that reason there. People have jobs and people are busy with their daily lives and routines. But as I mentioned, I pushed hard. We called, Alice and Bishops, and we were on the phone, all week trying to find something. And of course, we wanted to play on turf. They wanted grass, and it was just trying to, find that, to compromise. And like I said, Thursday was the best we could get on turf, and San Diego is definitely a great, a great complex, a great, it has great facilities, is what I meant to say. So I guess, it was the best fit for us, and we're going to take what we can get. As I mentioned, Cotulla always travels well. They come out and support. So we're looking forward to it, man. We have we've got a great ball club, and I'm hoping that we can come out victorious on Thursday.
Oh yeah, we're all hoping for the same thing, man. So that being said, sorry man, I got my questions over here, so I'm not trying to look
You're
away
fine.
from the screen too
You're
much.
fine.
But so without giving too much away, what can you say about the opponent's strengths?
Santa Rosa, man, they're very similar to us. They got they're a scrappy ball club, some tough, some tough kids, on both sides of the ball. But as I mentioned, they're a run heavy team, kind of similar to us. They throw the ball well. They got some good skilled kids out in space. But they're young. That's one thing I'll say, that they've got a young ball club, and it's our job to kind of exploit their youth, and try to attack them and try to get them where we know that we can gain an advantage and stuff like that. So it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle, man. It's two tough ball clubs going head to head, and the playoff. It's basically win or go home. But like I said, our kids, we had a great day of practice, and it's like I tell them all the time. Ball games aren't won on Fridays. They're kind of won, in the summer and the off season, and then now in season they're won on the days leading up to the game. So we definitely went 1-0 today on Monday, and we're looking to do the same thing tomorrow. And come Wednesday, you got to taper down a bit because you're playing on Thursday. But like I said, man, we just keep getting better at what we do, and hopefully we come out victorious on Thursday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I guess whenever you play on Friday, kind of have a routine, and it's kind of the routine that you stuck with throughout the season. Does playing on Thursday kind of change things up? Are you having to cramp, stuff in Monday, Tuesday, since you, like you said, on Wednesday you do want to tone it down a little bit?
Yeah, we definitely, like you said, we've played on we've played on Friday all season. So it was definitely, it took some changes. We definitely had to utilize our Saturday. And I'll be honest, this year we went to morning practices. And that was a major change for us. As long as I've been here and as far back as I can remember, I don't recall, the high school, with morning practices and things like that. But now, with this heat and, UIO recommendations on the heat advisory and things like that, it kind of made it difficult, especially when you're out there for 2-3 hours in full pads, so, we have morning practices, and we kind of trying to keep it short, crisp. And then, we're using the afternoons for some film and weights and things that we need to polish up on for sure, and the biggest thing, the whole Thursday is it's been a long season, man, in an 8-team district. It's taken some getting used to, man. The season has felt longer. And at this point in the season, man, if you're not in some type of pain or if you're not, hurting a little bit, it's very it's very odd. Most kids are, they're banged up. So I was definitely hoping for that extra day. It's very important, and our gives our training staff another day to get these kids right. They do a great job. So, but we got to kind of take what we can get. And like I said, man, we're definitely, we definitely had a great day today. It was a long day, but it was a great day.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good to hear. And so I mean, what has been the most challenging part of getting to this point?
Um, you know, it's the biggest thing that and not to get too into personal things, but it's definitely staying healthy. I'd have to say that, staying healthy, our key players, we've had a few key injuries, leading up to the Dilly game. Our, QB1, QB2, they didn't practice all week. We were banged up kind of going into it, man. And that's the nature of the game. Football's it's a violent sport. It's a violent sport. And, not to make excuses, but, just trying to get these kids right. And as I mentioned earlier, our training staff, they do a great job. Doc, Yomeda de la Peña and her training staff, they do an outstanding job of taking care of our kids. Whether it's at 5:30 before practice or after school, just trying to get those kids right, man. And it's been difficult, trying to kids out here and there, as well as I do, man. Small school, every kid, they're on, punt, offense, defense, kickoff, return, and they're crucial to the program. But at the same time, we don't give them time. We don't allow them to take care of their bodies, man. They won't be available on Friday nights. So that's definitely been, that's been one of that's been one of the little bumps in the road. But again, everybody deals with injuries, man. Like I mentioned earlier, it's the nature of the game, and it's just how you handle it. And we got to have gamers. We have gamers, man. Kids will be banged up, but we just got some tough kids. Tough kids, come Friday, we make no excuse, man. We're going to give you the best we got, whether we're limping in or not, man. And that's kind of what we've been dealing with here in the recent weeks.
Yeah. And me and you kind of talk as much as we can, as time allows us. I got my work, you're busy, probably
Yes, sir.
5 a.m. to about 9 p.m. That was one of our discussions, that just the injuries that you've had to overcome, and a lot of kids are, almost like game time decisions, for the most part in some of these
Yes,
games.
sir.
And they pull through, and, whenever they step on that field, you can kind of see it, but you kind of can't, they give you 110%, whether their body's at that 100% or not.
And that's one thing, man. And I'll be honest, I know as well as I do, this profession is kind of based on wins and losses, man. But at the same time, I have kids. I'm not going to go put a kid at risk, to win a ball game for myself. As tough as that sounds. I mean, eventually they're going to grow up one day to have kids, and I want them. I'm not going to put a kid at risk that's going to have a major setback. Sometimes, it's difficult. It's difficult. You want to win in everything. You want to win in everything you do, but at the same time, I'm not trying to put the safety and the well-being of a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid at risk, to win a ball game. So, like I said, it's been tough, but at the end of the day, we're going to do what's best for the kid, and hopefully, everything works out so we can kind of move forward, So, like I said, man, it's been great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, how does this playoff run fit into the larger goals you have for this program?
Yeah, like going into this year, I kind of dating back to last year, I guess I should say, it was a difficult season, man, and at the end of the day, nobody wants to hear, woulda, coulda, shoulda. We went 3-7, and we were probably 4 plays away from being 6-4, 7-3, something like that. But, and it was my first year. It took, it was a major learning experience, and I take things personal, man. I never put blame on the kids. I never put blame on my coaches. I always look in the mirror and, hey, what could I have done? What could I have done better? And of course, in this profession, you're always a better coach after the fact or the next day, or, sitting up in the stands or on the couch, but there was definitely, a lot of things that I learned from last year, and it kind of, it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth, to be honest with you, man. And kids made no excuses. Kids bought in the off season. We put them through boot camp. We went through, an intense off season, and come, summertime, kids were 7-on-7, lineman challenges and just competing, showing up after long days of work. We pushed our workouts to, evenings to accommodate our kids. Majority of our high school kids work, day jobs, man. And I wasn't going to be stubborn to the fact and have, 8, 9, 10 a.m. workouts when I'm missing a whole bunch of my kids because they're working, So we pushed them later on, and kids were showing up after a long day's work. And like I said, man, the biggest goal was to compete for a district title. We gave ourselves, opportunity against Pope, sitting under, 3-1, 4-0, and or whatever. And, against Dilly, it is what it is. But biggest goal was, compete for a district championship and make a little run in the playoffs, man. Let's have some fun and make some noise in the playoffs. And we've given ourselves that opportunity, and that's what I told the kids this weekend. And this morning when we showed up, it's nice and cold, beautiful weather. And I tell them, man, there's only 32 teams in this division, left in our, division, 3A, Division 2. A lot of these kids are hanging up their helmets and their cleats for the last time, man. And be grateful, embrace the opportunity, and let's go have fun. I try to make it fun and want, kids want to be out there and just have them enjoy it, man. It's fun, and let's embrace it. Take it day by day. Don't worry about, this team has beat them, this, that. I ain't worried about all that stuff, man. Let's that's why we play the games. That's why we line up and play the games, man. And you know, as coaches, it's our job to make sure we put those kids in the best position to be successful. And I feel like I said, man, I feel like we've had a good couple weeks, and we're definitely we're looking forward to Thursday, man. We're excited. Everybody's excited.
Oh, I mean, we're excited as well. You know, I've already tried my attempt to call into work. Unfortunately, it's unsuccessful. So I know there's several people that are looking forward to this Thursday game. It's a big topic. It was actually the big topic at our Pee Wee hosting on Saturday. You know, where was it? Who were they playing? You know,
Yeah.
and you know, being able to talk to you on the morning, a little messenger like, oh, you know, I heard here we got Santa Rosa. They're trying to decide a location. So,
Yeah.
you know, everybody was
Yeah, and
just,
I'll be honest,
you know,
man. It was it's my first go around as far as football playoffs is concerned, and it was, you know, it took some getting used to. You know, I didn't realize people were calling weeks ago, and I guess a lot of it had to deal with the fact that we were on the bubble on the last week. You know, and it was, man, but it's always good to pencil in. Hey, put me down, put me here, possibly this date, this time. And then not only were we on the bubble, but, you know, District 16 as well, you know, Odom and Santa Rosa, they went down to the last week, and Santa Rosa beat them at their place, which gave them second place. So it was kind of hard, man. And like I said, there wasn't a lot of availability as far as fields and things of that nature on Friday. So like I said, definitely a learning experience, man. Always learning, always learning.
Yeah, that's all you can do. I mean, yeah, like you say, you're on your year 2 athletic director. I think you've done, you know, like a great job. As a program in general, you know, Cowboys Cowgirls side. I mean, we're
Yes,
seeing
sir.
things in a different
Yes, sir.
heading in a different direction. You know,
Yes,
you've
sir,
had
man.
some
That's
great
that's the biggest thing is,
successors.
yeah, you know, I've always been a diehard football guy, but you know, taking this job on as athletic director, you know, it's not just, you know, football, it's not just Cowboys, you know, it's as a whole, from, you know, from the ground up. And I've embraced that opportunity, and I make sure that I support everybody, every athlete, and everything that they do, man. You know, it's to me, I'm a firm believer that actions speak louder than words, you know, and being there for these kids and motivating these kids, it goes a long way, you know, whether it's a simple, you know, great job, or, you know, have a good day, things like that. It makes a world of difference, man. Sometimes you never know what these kids are going through. And to me, it's more than just a game, you know, it's about life. And you know, being
Yeah.
from Cotulla, I bleed maroon and gold, and I'm there. I'll give every kid the shirt off my back. You know, that's always been me, and I'm just grateful for this opportunity, man. Everything that I'm not perfect, and you know, I don't know it all. I don't claim to know it all, but everything that I've said, you know, in the interview and things like that, I've tried my best to live up to it, man. To be there for all the kids, support them in every athletic event, you know, and just trying to build off of it, man. You know, trying to get better, and, you know, just trying to learn and improve and get better at what I do. You know, like you mentioned, I'm young in the position, and that's one thing. You know, trying to find fields and things. I don't know a lot of people. I'm gonna be quite honest. You know, I was basically born and raised here, and, you know, went to school here, came back. You know, my first job. You know, so I don't, you know, networking is big. Networking is big in this position. And I've got a few people that I lean on, you know, my buddy, Coach Sebastian Velasquez, a lot of my guys on my staff, you know, they got a lot of years of experience. They've been great tools, you know, even, you know, Coach Luna out in Polk, man, he's helped me a bunch. Coach Anderson, Jordanson. I don't shy away. That's one thing about me, man. I'm not too prideful to ask, or, you know, I never claim to know it all, and I don't mind asking, you know. And Coach Ramirez, you know, my assistant, he's done a great job, man. The guy's been in the game for a long time. And he's a great tool, man. He's a great, you know, somebody to lean on, like, you know, if I'm unsure of things, and to me, you know, at the end of the day, it takes a team effort. It's a team effort, and you know, like I tell our coaching staff, eight brains is a lot better than one. You know, I'm not stubborn to the fact that, oh, I'm going to do what I do regardless of what works. Hey, what do you think? You know, what do you think's better here? How should we attack this? How should we this, that? And I felt like, you know, we've had success with that. And to me, it just makes everybody feel valued, and, you know, take ownership to their input and stuff like that. So again, it's been good. It's been good, man. I'm looking forward to it. You know, we've got some great group of kids coming up, you know, all the way from, you know, flag football to our juniors and seniors to our, you know, middle school programs, and the future's bright. You know, like I said earlier, man, it just takes support and to push these kids to get the most out of them.
Yeah, no, and I can, for, you know, younger ones, you know, you have been there for us through our, you know, for all our programs, from volleyball, basketball, flag football, like you said, and our tackle football. Uh, you know, from the very beginning, from the moment that, you know, we took over and you took over, you know, we collaborated a lot, and you know, I appreciate it. And I had a lot of fun, and gained a lot of knowledge, you know, whenever I was allowed to be in your coaches meeting. It's something I
Oh,
want
yeah.
to, you know, probably include more coaches, because it's a really useful tool, and hearing from so many guys that have the years of experience and have seen different styles of coaching and been a part of different programs, coming together as one
Yes.
was definitely a fun experience.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, that's something that we started, and Coach Mendoza, he's got a world of knowledge, man. That guy is really good at what he does, and this is just, an idea he put forward about, especially trying to get those younger middle, those younger, newer junior high, middle school coaches, and getting them up to speed, and just kind of sharing the knowledge, man. And we started doing that in-house clinic last year. And, I invited you guys, and, the door's always open. Anybody that wants to learn, man, we don't ever shy away or try to hide what we do, man. It's important. It's important that, we vertically align everything. We build that foundation and everybody's on the same page, and, whether through verbiage and just, formations and things like that, man. And that's how you build a program. I'm a firm believer that, it starts from the bottom. And that's why I appreciate you guys so much doing what you all do for the youth. And, as you mentioned, I always try to help you guys when I can, but it doesn't amount to, the amount of time and effort that you guys put in to these kids, man. And it's going to benefit us down the road. It's going to benefit us, makes our job easier, And that's why I said, man, just trying to start running our bread and butter as far as formations and plays and getting those kids used to the terminology and the verbiage and stuff. It's going to be a tremendous benefit down the road, man, and we appreciate it.
No, for sure, man, and we enjoy it, and we appreciate y'all, helping us that aspect as well. So,
Yes.
man, if you don't mind, we do have quite a bit of viewers. So I mean, if anybody has a question, now you can shoot your comment. It'll pop up. I'll put it up here for Coach Rodriguez to answer. But in the meantime, man, if you don't mind, what's one message you want the team to remember as they start the playoffs?
And kind of the thing that I've been kind of preaching here lately is just making the most of the opportunity. As I mentioned to him this past Friday, I could have sworn it was, last week that I was on that, in that gear on that knee with them, playing in our time, and just seize the moment, man. Seize the moment and make the most of the opportunity, because time flies. And as a kid, you said, oh, I'll be back next year, or, I still got next week, or, and time flies, man. And that's one thing that, now that I'm in this position and learning everything that I've kind of learned, it's just, a lot of regrets, man, I should have done this, I should have power lifted, I should have done that, and it is what it is, man. You're young sometimes. And if you don't have people in your ear kind of guiding you or supporting you, or, just kind of helping you, it was but that's one thing, man, is just seize the moment and make the most of it. That's the biggest thing I want these kids to do. Don't leave any regrets, and have fun. Have fun. We get so caught up, and it's business. I tell these are business trips we're going on, things like that. But at the end of the day, man, these are kids. These are kids that we're dealing with, and just want them to enjoy it, man. Enjoy the moment.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And you know, like you said, it takes us back to our old days, and y'all had, your junior year was probably one of the best runs in Catula they've ever had. Going all the way to state semifinals. I know it was a journey to be a part of, in high school, and witness it, and if only everybody could see the behind the scenes. It's like it's stories that we share, or that I share with like the younger kids. Whenever we're coaching them, like it looked nice every Friday, how y'all would click, and the games, how they would go down, and all these incredible plays. But it started, like you said, it started in the summer. Like you guys, everybody was in the weight room, everybody was pushing each other, everybody was, taking care of their bodies on Saturdays. I saw what y'all go through. It's a lot different. I don't think we ever had all those nice little stretches and workouts and foam rollers in an awesome facility,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
made the
Things
most of
have
what we
evolved,
had.
man. Times have changed, man. Football, it's always evolving, man. It's there's always room for improvement, man. That's one thing. But no, you're right, man. Those were definitely some good times. And I credit a lot of that stuff to just consistency is the biggest thing. We had a great leader in Coach Marcus Booker, man, one of the best to ever do it. And I credit a lot of the things, that we do, or that I know, to him. He was like a father figure to me. And as I mentioned earlier, this is more than just a game, man. That guy taught me a lot about life. And the biggest thing is, as I mentioned, it was consistency. He got here when I believe I was like in sixth grade, all the way through sixth, through middle school, through high school. And then, down the road, we had some good classes, that were, our, Frank, Juan, and them as seniors, and then us as juniors. And we had a good group, man, good chemistry, and we played well together, and we reaped the benefits down the road, man. But, like, as I mentioned, consistency and getting familiar with, the things that we were being taught. And, it's difficult, in my first 8 years, I went through 4 athletic directors, in my 9th year, I was the 5th. And, yeah, we're adults. We're students of the game, and it may be an easier transition for us, to, it could be the same formation, whether it's doubles, ace, they might call it orange or whatever the case may be. As us, as coaches, we are familiar with these things, but as a kid, man, it's a lot to ask, and I just felt like the inconsistency, it was kind of, that was a big contributing factor to us, when we were struggling and things like that. And I'm just grateful that they gave me the opportunity, because I'm here for the long haul until they get me out of here. But I just feel like, the longer we do what we do, we're going to definitely get better at it. And the kids are going to benefit from it down the road, especially in football. For somebody that's comfortable and knowledgeable of what they're doing, they tend to play a lot faster. If you get up there and you're thinking about your assignment, you're a step slow, and 3 out of 4 times you're going to get beat, man. So that's what I credit, back then, is what I was kind of getting at, is just, the success we had in 06 was just, we started at a young age, running the system, getting familiar, getting better at it. And I'm hoping that's what, that's what we bring, here in the near future to Cotulla. We're definitely, off to a good start. We just got to build from it.
Yes, sir. No, I agree. And if I'm not mistaken, that, the 06 group, y'all were playing P together. Like, y'all had been together since those days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
Yeah,
I believe
that's
when I
just an
was like
awesome
in
time.
sixth grade, that was the first year that, excuse me, that was the first year I think Cotulla had made the playoffs in a long time. I believe when like Joe Black and those guys, when Booker, I remember them playing like Tommy Blake or something that went to TCU, and my nephew Adolfo Fito and them were playing, and those were good times, man. And that's what kind of brought Cotulla football back to life, man, with Booker and those guys. And we've been kind of back and forth between head coaches and leaders and stuff like that, man. So like I said, that's why that was a big thing, on those playoff shirts that we created. I just, back where we belong, I've always felt like we're a dang good ball club. And that saying or that quote has a lot of meaning to it. I don't just put things to put things, man. I put a lot of thought into certain things, and I felt like that was crucial to these kids back where they belong, basically.
Yes, sir. No, and I heard you mention Joe Black, and I believe you have his son at running back now, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
It's
that's
crazy how
what
you've done a full
I was just
circle.
talking to some people this past weekend about, people that I went to school with, for instance, Frank and Ryan and a lot of those guys that I'm coaching their kids now. And as I mentioned to them, I'm like, man, time flies. Time flies, and they've done a great job, man. They've raised some great young men, and it definitely, they're ball players, they're students of the game, and it definitely makes our job a lot easier, man. So I'm just glad that we're definitely having some of my former teammates having some kids going through the program. And it's crazy how how much similarities there is between the father and the son. So it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, so now, bringing up boys like that, are there any team leaders that have stepped up, in recently to rally,
Yeah,
kind of
man,
rally
we've
the
had
group together?
we have a great senior ball club. um and we've got a really good sophomore group. We've got some good younger classmen. But some of these kids, they've been on the varsity level since they were freshmen, and some, some may not be as vocal, some may be a little too vocal at times, but we've definitely got some good leaders out there, man. Alex Medina, he's been with us for 4 years. Eric, Big Victor Moreno, Jerry Gonzalez, Miguel, those kids, and a few of them, Jerry, Miguel, and them, they're not very vocal, but they're about action, man. They're workers. They work hard, and they do a great job out there, man. And they're role models for those younger kids, and But like I said, man, some of those younger kids, Frank Torres and Ricardo and Marco Benavides, and my nephew Joe, they do a good job, man. They work hard, and they're great kids. And I always tell people, man, we have great kids in Cotulla. Not just because they're my kids or I coach the kids, but they're just very respectful and they're hardworking and they're always willing to give back to the community and help out where needed. And they may not want to do their schoolwork sometimes, but they're definitely hard workers, man. And I'm just glad to be trying to guide them and trying to help them and prepare them for life.
Oh, you've done a great job, Coach. So I'll hit you with the last question that I got for you.
Yes, sir.
What's your message to fans as the team heads into its first playoff game?
The biggest message is believe. Just believe. Like I said, we've played some really good ball clubs this year. And people, Refugio, they're gonna make a run this year. I promise you that. Pote is a tough ball club, and we have a really good ball club. So if anything, the biggest message is just believe in us. Kids are working hard. When things sometimes, I'm telling you, we try, everything in our power to win every game, but sometimes the chips don't always fall that way. But biggest thing, is like I said, believe in us, and I promise you, we're gonna put out a good product on the field come this Thursday. Wherever the chips lie come after Thursday, I just want to make sure and that we do everything in our power to give ourselves an opportunity to be successful and come out with a win, man. So we're excited, like I said, and the kids are, we had a good week. We're off to a good start, so I'm hoping for a big showing on Thursday in San Diego.
Yes, sir, for sure. I know. We'll probably have quite a bit of fans there making noise. We're always really loud. I enjoy being there to not just witness the boys playing, but I like witnessing the atmosphere. That's always my thing. Now that I get to be a fan, I don't have any kids. I have my kids, but they're too young to be playing high school ball yet. So I'm just a big Cotulla fan. It's kind of why we started all this stuff, kind of give everybody the
Yeah,
platform,
man.
to get out there.
Like I mentioned earlier, man, we have some of the best fans around, and it it is when you're winning, man, everybody wants to be a part of it. And the atmosphere has been amazing. And like I was talking to the coaches, I said that last week at Dilly, that was hands down, the best atmosphere I've ever been a part of. When kids couldn't hear you on the field and you couldn't hear coaches on the headsets and the bands were rocking, and it was great, man. As a young coach, it was when you're trying to draw on the board and your lines are jaggedy and you can't draw straight because you're shaking, and it was a major learning experience, man. So like I said, our fans have been amazing. And I just we hope to continue that. We hope to continue that and keep getting better and keep bringing excitement to the community, man. It's always better when you're winning. Winning tends to mask a lot of things, and like I said, I'm hoping to continue that.
Yes, sir. No, we're behind you, Coach. And before you sign off, or we'd like to, or part of me in association, I speak to, our board members, our coaches, and you're doing a great job, and we wish you best of luck, and we want to keep continue seeing you succeed through your journey. Like you said, you're in here for the long haul. We hope that we get to witness you grow into an old man and still be coaching. I hope you coach my kid and you're there for that long. So
Yes, sir.
we're wishing you the best. Good luck this Thursday, Coach, and hopefully we can continue to do this a little more often. I'd like to have you on here more, and I know the fans like hearing from you. So maybe hopefully we can do this before the next round then.
No, man, definitely. Like I said earlier, I appreciate you extending the invitation. Last week, like I said, I was a little bit down, man. I was a little bit down and out. I'll be honest with you. And then we're sitting at 4-2, and we hadn't even secured a playoff spot. And I said, man, when it rains, it pours, But it to me, I'm not much of a religious guy, but I just felt like it was a minor setback for a major comeback. And that comeback started, last week against Carn City, and And I'll be honest, I told the kids about, the story about back in '06, and everybody, oh, you always revert back to '06. Well, I lived it, man. I was part of it, and I shed the blood, sweat, and tears. So I have the right to talk about it. But back in '06, we were 9-0, 8-0 going into that last week at Dilly, and they came out and they hit us in the mouth and they pulled off a major upset, and we ended up not winning a district title, and that's something Cotulla hasn't done in a long time. But I just felt like had we won that game, we probably wouldn't have made it to the state semifinals. And I'll live by that. It was a bit of a humble pie, and I felt like it woke us up. And I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And that's kind of the story that I was giving the kids last week after we took that tough loss to Dilly. So that's fine, man. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and everything happens for a reason. And there's something greater coming out of this. And like I said, man, we started last week and hoping to continue this week and give ourselves an opportunity, man. My goal is always, hey, I want to practice on Thanksgiving, on the week of Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So we're giving ourselves an opportunity, and I'm going to live in the moment and hope for the best. Hope for the best.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate you again, Steve, for coming on.
For sure.
Having a conversation, for us and all your words. So if you got anything left to say, man, I mean, the mic's all yours again.
I want to thank you guys for everything. The Cotulla Sports Association, you guys have brought back, the youth, the foundation. You guys have done a tremendous job, man. And as I mentioned, it takes a lot. A lot of people are volunteers, and I don't ever criticize. I don't ever give my 2 cents because, it's a lot. I know it's a lot, and they're doing it for nothing. And, I got my daughter in the program, and I just want to commend you guys for that. We last couple of years, before you guys took over, it kind of been inconsistent, and, we wouldn't have a season, and then the league would, it wouldn't work out and stuff like that. So I just want to commend y'all, man. You guys have done a great job. And I know sometimes it's difficult, when you're trying to find workers and people to run a function. But you guys, Carmen, your board members have done a great job, and you guys are really, helping the youth of our community, man. And I can't thank you guys enough. Like I said earlier, it's going to benefit us later on down the road. So, keep up the great work. And, you guys, I'm always got your back, man. Y'all ever need anything, I'm always a phone call away. And if I can't get it, I'm going to try my best. So again, I appreciate you guys. And I'm looking forward to, some more conversations as we continue to bring more success to the town of Cotulla.
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate you, Steve. Appreciate your time. I know you got to be up early tomorrow as y'all prepare some more. So thanks, sir. Man. Appreciate having you.
Good night, man.
We'll see you,
Coach.
Coach.
Have a good one. Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our athletic director and head football coach, Esteban Rodriguez. And, game will be this Thursday over in San Diego starting at 7. They will be facing the Santa Rosa over there. So if you can, we'd like to pack the stands. We'd like to make it as close of a home game atmosphere as we possibly can. I know it's quite a bit of ways to travel, but you heard it from Coach. They're going to put on a big show, and for all the Cotulla fans, for all the Cowboy fans, who we're hoping they stream it. I especially am hoping that we can watch it some way somehow. So that way we can at least support, in spirit, because I definitely will. And just good luck, boys, and give it your best. And like I said, the town's rooting for you to get this win, so we can see another week. Coach always, Coach always wanted us practicing on Thanksgiving, and that's, I know that's where Steve-O gets it from. And it's a great feeling, and we wish it upon the boys. I know I've done all the work off season and every weekend, every day. In reality, they only have probably Sundays off. I mean, that's about their only little break from football. So good luck, boys, and we wish you all the best. And now, spirit. Yeah, that's definitely what we need, are some spirit buses. And now just a little update on our end of the Cotulla Sports Association. So we actually had our first round of playoffs hosted here in Cotulla. Our junior and senior boys both faced the number 1 seed, the Divine Broncos. Unfortunately, both of our seasons have come to an end. The boys fought hard. They gave it their all, the very last game to the very last second on that clock. Um, they definitely adjusted well. We made some adjustments on the fly starting on Monday. We kind of tweak things up that we thought would benefit them the most, and it came out. It came out on Saturday and played their hearts out. And like I said, uh, unfortunately, our season is over, and we will be moving on to basketball. That registration will open up here soon. As soon as I can finish setting everything up, I know we've had a lot of people asking. So be on the lookout. We'll of course post a big ad, our bigger flyer on the Facebook page, and hope to get some of those passed out to the kids in the school. And it'll be open, for a month. I believe uh the season starts in the end of February. I mean, at the beginning of February, maybe end of January, somewhere around there. I can't remember. It was our first year last year that we actually joined the South Texas Small Town League. We've been a part of it for football for years. Before that, our basketball season just consisted of us in Dilley. Now we've opened up, and it's Dilley, Divine, Pearsall, Lytle, Jordanton, who else? I believe Natalia. I mean, it's opening up, and then we're giving the kids some experience facing other towns and seeing different talent instead of just one small town. So that'll be opening up real soon. Like I said, I just need to iron out the little small details, and then that registration will be opened up. And it looks like Hasi said about some spirit buses, and there will be a student spirit bus. Parents, go rent out a bus. All y'all gather up and pile up in there and head to San Diego. So also this Saturday we had our flag football team uh compete in the flag tournament, which was held over in Dilley. The boys ended up finishing fourth place out of 6 teams, which was a great finish to their season in that tournament. They were literally one of the strong teams. It could have gone either way. It just got hot. I know it's tough, and they had combined a team so they can have enough, and just working that chemistry, trying to get those kids all ready, prepared together to play in 1 week. It's tough. I mean, coming out in fourth place was a really big victory on our end, and we're proud of those boys. So a big shout out to all our coaches, from flag football to junior league to senior league. It's been a long 3 months. They've put in countless hours of work. The boys have practiced rain or shine. It's been chilly, been extremely hot. They don't complain. They just do what they're told, and they're going to be an awesome group to watch as they grow up. The girls, they finished volleyball. I think before the last podcast that we had last week. So it's been about 2 weeks since they've been done. Looking forward to them and watching them in their basketball games. Speaking of basketball, I know our high school already played their first game. The varsity faced Uvalde last week, if I'm not mistaken. I heard it was a very close game. They ended up coming up just a little bit short by 5 points. But from what I've heard about the Uvalde team, that's a tough team. And for our girls to finish that close, with that very limited amount of practice, I mean, it speaks wonders about that team. So we're looking forward to the future of this season, as well as like our basketball boys, who's, I'm sure there's a lot of basketball players on that football team. They're just gonna have to wait it out, just a little bit longer. Hopefully they make that big run. They just have to jump in the district. But the boys, I'm sure they're already starting. I'm sure they already got that going. So good luck to them as soon as they begin. I don't have the rosters pulled up. I mean, the schedule's pulled up. I can get it for next time. But that's about all we have for this week, ladies and gentlemen. It was a huge honor to have Coach Rodriguez join us and, answer all the questions that we had for him. Once again, we're excited. Good luck. Go Cowboys. We wish you all the best. And we're praying that y'all come out victorious. Good luck. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Appreciate y'all. Oh, look, sorry. Before we go. Yeah, the students only spirit bus. So any students wanting to travel, there's your opportunity. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.